What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and in this video, we're going to be going over a new archetype and new support for for a deck that was meta for several years. So, without further ado, let's jump into the legacy support for Sky Strikers. So, Aileron, the level 1 wind machine effect monster, 0 attack, 0 defense. This card is always treated as a Sky Striker card. You can only use the first or third effect of this card once per turn and only once that turn. So, during the main phase, quick effect, you can target one Sky Striker Ace monster you control, a card from your hand or field to that target. If a Sky Striker Ace monster is equipped with this card, it gains 400 attack. And if this card on the field is destroyed, you can send one Sky Striker spell or trap card from the graveyard or from your deck to the graveyard. Alright, I'm just gonna say this now. This card is dog water. It's very, very, very bad. It does nothing for the archetype. You can't even use it to link summon into their monsters, because their monsters require a Sky Striker Ace monster, and that's not what this is. On top of that, its second effect, or its third effect, is good, but it has to be destroyed while on the field, and you cannot use it in the same turn you equipped it. And while you can equip it during your opponent's main phase and everything like that, the only time that you would want to equip this, in my honest opinion, is if you were to do it during the damage step. That's the only time I think that you would want to equip it. It is a quick effect. If you could just damage step, equip, gain 400. It still probably wouldn't be worth running, but there would be times where it'd be very niche. This time they'll see it coming from a mile away. They'll just get rid of it. It'll get sent to the graveyard. All that. I don't think this card does anything the deck wants other than the send a Sky Striker spell from the deck to the graveyard. But in order for you to do that, you kind of have to jump through some hoops. So I think that this card is absolutely garbage, and Sky Striker players can roast me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that this is even remotely playable in that deck whatsoever. I will say some positives about it. The level 1, and it's a machine. That's a machine dupe target. And that's it. That's as far as this goes. So, we're gonna move on to Splight, a new Thunder theme, huh? So Splight Blue, the level 2 Dark Thunder effect monster with a 1100 attack and 1000 defense. You can only special summon the first procedure of this card's name once per turn and only once. And you can only special use a second effect once per turn as well. So if you control a level 2 or rank 2 monster, summon this card from your hand. Okay. If this card is special summon, you can add one Splight monster from your deck to your hand, except for Splight Blue. Okay, it's a searcher. And that's fine. You just normal summon one of your other level 2s, and you special summon this, you get a search. That's probably a 3 of. It's a good extender, and it's a searcher. Yeah. Not much to say about this card other than it's good. Pretty much. The wording on this is kind of weird, but I get it. You can only special summon. You can only use the first way to. It can only be special summoned the first way of that, and it's worded like that because this is an unclassified effect, meaning it doesn't activate. It just summons itself. So, Splight Jet is our next card. Level 2 Dark Thunder effect. 1300 attack, 700 defense. Its first summon is a once per turn. And then its second effect is also a once per turn. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, you can add a Splight uh spell trap card from your deck to your hand. Once again, this is just the spell trap version of the other card. It's very, very good. You should run it unless the spell traps are very bad, in which case I guess you still run it because it's an extender. Um so far this deck is looking like it needs its normal summon. So you're gonna like normal summon one and special search, etc. etc. So funny enough, if you normal summon any of your other ones between Splight and Jet, or Blue and Jet, like one of the like the next card for example, I don't know what it does, but let's say you normal summon this one right here, and you have Blue in your hand, you special summon Blue. Blue can search Jet. Jet can special summon self and search one of the spells and trap cards, and you have three level 2s to go into your rank 2s and stuff like that. I just don't know what the rank 2s do. I know there are good rank 2s in the game. As someone who's played Paleo Frogs, I just want to see if they have any. I will have to wait and see if they have any good ones. Same thing with the spell and traps. So we're gonna move on to Splight Pixies. Okay, so finally something kind of different. So the first effect is an extender effect that you can only summon it once this way. Second effect says if another level 2, a level, rank, or link to battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Your battling monster gains attack equal to the monster's current attack. Oh, so it's literally an honest for level and for link, level, and rank 2. Also, this is a level 2 Dark Thunder effect with 1400 attack and 14 defense. So your battling monster gains attack and defense equal to the opponent's monster's current attack. So yes, it's literally honest for link 2 and 4. Uh, that's pretty good because it's also an extender. If it was just an honest, it might be just this deck specifically that it saw playing, but because this is a extender, it's probably worth running. The other, like the second effect is good, but honest doesn't see much play anymore. And this is searchable in this deck, so it probably will only be playing this, but it's not not like honest is a bad effect, it's just really niche. The fact that this is also an extender as opposed to honest, that's uh battle hand trap when you really think about it. Um is very it makes this card much better than honest in my opinion. So Splight Red is our next card. It's a level 2 fire thunder effect. 1200 attack, 1800 defense. If you control a level or link 2, you can special summon this card from your hand, as opposed to these, which is level or rank 2. So, when your opponent activates a monster effect as a second quick effect, you contribute one other level /rank /link 2 monster, negate that effect. Then, if you tributed a rank or level 2 monster, you can destroy that monster. So, if you tribute a level 2, it just negates the effect. And if you tribute a rank and all that, it negates and destroys. That's not bad. And it's also, like, I'm pretty sure all of them are extenders as well. So, they're darks and fire. I think that, this, like, I don't know if you're going to keep this out. It depends on if the links and ranks want to be tributed and get effects off tributing, whether you're just going to keep this out. Also depends on what the other fire one does. If the other fire one negates spell cards for a similar cost, there might be situations where you just summon in defense and stuff like that and have 2 negates. It's also worth mentioning that this seems like it can run the adventure engine since none of them either activated effects. So you could just be like wham bam special summon a bunch of these things, then play the adventure engine as well. So it looks that's what it's looking like. It just depends on what the other cards do because all of these cards are extenders and none of them are like actually starters. Their only starters are the fact that you are normal summoning and then special summoning like Blackwings do. So if that's the case, then this deck might be something that needs its normal summon. We're gonna move on to Splight Carrot, which is a level 2 fire thunder effect. Has an attack 1900 defense. First is the if you control a level or link to, you can special summon it from the hand. Your opponent activates a spell or trap card. You tribute one other link level. Yeah, okay, so this does negate spell and traps, like I thought. It does the same thing, but for the other card, but it negates spell traps or a spell trap effect. Um, it's pretty good still. Like I guess there might be situations where you negate stuff like that, and the whole destroy that card. This text right here matters a little bit less than the monster one because you can use this to negate like a normal spell card, spell or trap card. It's negated, and then you don't need to destroy it. It's just gonna go to the graveyard anyway. But in like continuous spells and stuff like that, you will and field spells you will want to negate. Overall, pretty good card. I do think that this deck needs a good starter card, like one that actually wants to be normal summoned. I guess the ones that don't mind if they're normal summoned are Splight Carrot and Splight Red. Um, Also, I guess this does play around like deck doesn't really seem like it cares too much about Ash Blossom either. But we're gonna at least so far. We'll have to see what the other cards do. So we're gonna move on to their first rank 2 Gigantic Splight. It is a rank 2 Dark Thunder Xyz effect with 1600 attack and 1600 defense. Two level 2 monsters is its requirements. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can treat link 2 monsters you control as level 2. Also, you can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. If this card has a fusion, Xyz, synchro, and or link as material, you double its original attack. During your main phase, you can uh, during your main phase, you can neither player can special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except a level, rank, and link 2 monsters. Attach one material from your Xyz monster, and if you do, special summon uh, one level 2 from your deck. So, the wording on this is really weird. I'm gonna read this in a different way. So, what this is pretty much saying is you activate this effect, and then no one can special summon except for these until the rest of the turn. Then you detach, and then you special summon a level 2 monster from your deck. Any 2 level 2 monster from the looks of it. So, um, I don't. The wording on the second effect is really weird, but it's very, very strong as well. It stops floaters as well as it stops like, um, it stops them from special summoning on your turn. Is pretty much what it does. Since it's not a quick effect. If it was a quick effect, this card would be bonkers. As far as getting a link monster under it, you probably can do that. It seems pretty easy to me. With how much this deck summons. All the monsters seem like 3 of us as well. All the main deck monsters. So, this one isn't like too hard, and it's not hard to summon. So yeah. Overall, pretty neat. We're gonna move to Splight Elf. So, this is their Link 2. It's a Link 2 Fire Thunder link effect with 1400 attack, and its arrows are bottom left, bottom right. 2 monsters, including a level, rank, or link 2 monster. So you have to have one of. So you have to have one of those. Second effect of this card's name part turns cannot be used as link material. The turn it is link summoned. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects. During your main phase, quick effect, you can target one level 2 monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If your opponent controls a monster at activation, you can target one rank or link 2 instead. That's pretty cool. I think this card is actually pretty good. Especially so you can like normal summon, special summon, then link summon for this, then use this effect, bring back one of your level 2s, and then you going from there. So it's also a monster reborn, but this card it guarantees you to get into the Xyz if you want to go into the Xyz, even if you only have 2 monsters. And here's why. Because the Xe says that you can use link 2s as material for it as a level 2. You can summon this, special summon back one of your other things, overlay, and then because you have the link material, it has 3200 attack. The Xyz does. So, overall, good card. Great for the deck. The fact it can't be used as link material the turn it's link summoned doesn't quite matter as much in this deck. You're not trying to link climb with it in a more pure version of it. You are specifically trying to like XC summon and stuff like that. Link summoning is also seems pretty decent in this deck. You can link summon and all that. You can't link climb very easily because their extender or one of their extenders, which is Elf, doesn't allow itself to be. But nonetheless, this isn't a bad card at all. So we're gonna move on to Splight Starter. Dang, they don't have a good starter. Let's see what the card literally called Splight Starter does, and if it is a good starter. You can only activate one card with this card's name. It's a quick play. Well, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You cannot switch some monsters for the rest of the turn except level / rank / link 2 monsters. Also, special summon one monster, Splight monster from your deck, and if you do, you lose attack. You lose life points equal to its original attack. So yes, this is a good starter card, but it's also a good extender card because it doesn't restrict you to not having monsters on the field or anything like that. You just lose life points, and it restricts you to level 2s and link 2s and stuff like that. So I guess the whole point of this deck is while this card locks you out of the adventure engine because you can't special summon the token, you can't special summon the Wind Griffin Rider and stuff like that. If you do discard after you do those, and because it says for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, if you have the adventure engine and this card and this in this deck, you can run it. You just have to do things differently, and because none of your monsters care about being normal summon and getting their normal summon effects, you can Rite of Armistier, for example, get Fateful Adventure, activate Fateful Adventure, search discard or search the Griffin Rider, special summon the Griffin Rider, and all that, and get the Draco back as well. Then you can play this afterwards, and then you're locked into level 2s, rank 2s, and link 2 monsters and stuff like that. So when you do it that way, you're golden. Also, because of blue, you could open up Pride of Armistier or the Water Priestess. It doesn't matter because you're gonna get them either way. And like 3 hand traps and this card and still make a board of 2 negates at least, because you can do the thing like the adventure engine and everything like that, where you have your negate, your omni negate. Then you play this, you search blue. Blue gets you another card. It's a special summon. You can do that. Then you special summon. Then you get another spell card, maybe another starter, or possibly a different card after starter. We'll have to see what those cards do and stuff like that. Then you link. Then you can either uh, link to into the link to monster, special summon one of those back, matter, Xyz summon, use the Xyz monster, detach the non-link monster, and then special summon out one of the Splight negators. So either the one that negates monster effects or the ones that negate spell. I would probably get the monster negator more times than not. But yeah, that's what you can do because you special summon from the deck. The only downside to this is you lose original attack, but the splites outside of like I don't think the main decks have that like any. So that's 1,000, 1,200. So this one is the only one you don't really want to summon. Anyway, is 11, 12, and all that. You can. That's not that much damage to take for this card. So we're gonna move to next card. Like Gamma Burst. Quick play spell card. You can only use the first or one of the first and second effects of this card's name once returned and only that turn. All level 2 / rank / link 2 monsters currently on the field gain 1400 attack and defense until the end of this turn. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one of your monsters you control. It gains 1400 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. It's eh. um, I guess this helps you push for game, but I don't think it's really necessary. I guess you can make your Xyz of 5 for 4,600 attack. I don't think this card's worth playing. Um, Starter is so far. I'm not impressed by Gamma, even though you can activate it during the damage step. Personally, I'm just not. I know it's a way to push for game because all of them gain it. So maybe as a one of, um, but I'm not very impressed with it. Splight Smashers is our last card we're going to talk about. And it's a quick play spell card that states you can only activate one this card's name per turn. Banish one Spriggans, Therians, or Splight card from your hand or graveyard to activate one of the following effects. This is summon one Spriggans monster from your deck, one Therion monster from your graveyard, or banish one level 2 link or rank 2 monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Okay. This card is okay. It's so the last effect it doesn't target. You have to banish in order to get its effect. The cost, so the activation is banish one from your hand or graveyard, and then you get one of these effects. Um, issue is you're losing most time. You're probably only using one card. So let's say in the adventure package, like I said, where you end on one of the negates that you have to tribute a monster, and you and a Griffin Rider, and you have this card set, for example. What you can do is you can, because you have one in the graveyard, and use this to get rid of it. Also, you can negate. If you negate first, you can always banish um the rank 2 or link 2 that you tributed off for your negate from your other Splight card. So this card isn't bad, and especially because it doesn't target, it's non-targeting, non-destruction removal. So as long as you're not getting rid of a card from your hand, this card's pretty good. Even if you have to banish one that you control as well. Because this deck is pretty good at summoning like multiple monsters, so and everything like that. All right, so what are my thoughts on this archetype? Well, I think this archetype has potential. I'm not gonna say it's groundbreaking or anything like that, but it definitely does have some potential. It's just that I feel like what's gonna happen is you're gonna summon all these cards and stuff like that, and you're gonna run out of resources really, really fast. And you're gonna have to and then it's just gonna kind of fall apart there. This deck doesn't have any inherent draw power, which isn't necessarily a problem. We have decent enough draw power in the game and stuff like that. But the thing is that like it doesn't have any it's it doesn't have a lot of searching either. It has two cards that search and one that special summons from the deck, which is a decent amount. Um, but depending on your hands, you're gonna be stopped by something like Ash Blossom, and then it's all gonna come crumbling down. Once again, the boards you can put out, especially with the Adventure Engine, is pretty good. I would say having two negates guaranteed, isn't bad at all. Also, if you do the one thing correctly, and um to play around Nibiru, if you think your opponent has Nibiru, for the this deck can also play around that, so that's a positive. But back on the negative thing is, I honestly think that after your first turn, if you set up the multiple negate board, you're not gonna have much of anything to do, and the gain 1400 attack thing is your push for game. But I think if you're going first, your goal is to if you're playing a go first version of this deck, your goal is to set up multiple negates and hope it's enough. And if you do that, then you can't OTK on the returning turn on the next turn usually. Um so and if you can't OTK, then your negates aren't gonna do anything. If you end up Uh, so yeah, I'm starting to ramble because my thoughts are kind of scattered. But my point is that I don't think this deck has quite enough support yet to be a meta deck, but I do think it has potential in the future. But you can let me know in the comment section down below what you think. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday! And if you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, can send them to JankyYGO at gmail.com. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.